I was debating whether I was going to cover this or not. Why not? Let's go ahead and do the State of the Union address, what he's talking about, because everybody's going to be talking about it. Just give me a second to do my disclaimer. Thanks for being here, everyone. Like the video as you guys come in. Subscribe to the page. Thanks for being here. So just give me a few seconds. All comments are allegedly. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Hold on one second. Come on in, like the videos you got in. All right. Come on in, like the videos you guys come in. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cover the State of the Union. Will I do the whole thing? Not certain. But like the videos you guys come in, let's get into what he has to say. What's being talked about. Please like the video. Please also subscribe. Okay. Come on in, like the video as y'all come in. We're going to hear what's being talked about. We cover hot topics, trending topics, anyways, in regards to the politics, so I figured I'd cover some of it. Let's go ahead and get this clip playing. But like the videos you guys come in, let's see what's being talked about, y'all.
Focused on the power of the people, starting with Congresswoman Maxine Dexter, Democrat of Oregon, along with the Portland Frog Brigade.
Let me cut that down because we can't do music. Like the videos you guys come in, like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in.
Okay. I will get it. Sorry. Good evening. I am Maxine Dexter, really proud to be here tonight with you. And I think you can see, thank you. I love you. I'm a mother. I'm a physician. And I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance.
Dr. Squash, no BO.
Like the video,
BS.
like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the videos you guys come in, like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in. Thanks for being here.
When he tried to send in federal troops, boo. When he tried to scare America into submission, Portland answered. We answered with frog costumes.
Okay, let me pull up something else. Let's get to what he's going to talk about. So there may be two different types of people that's talking right now, but let's get into this.
The president's tariffs unconstitutional. And so you mentioned it there. I will be inside of the chamber today, sitting up in the gallery, and my eyes are going to be closely following which Supreme Court justices end up showing up tonight, what the interactions are between the president and the Supreme Court justices, especially those that he appointed and the justices that are conservative that ended up siding with the liberal justices in this case. We all remember that moment from last year where the president conveyed to the Chief Justice John Roberts, telling him thank you, shaking his hand. That was caught on a hot mic. What exactly happens tonight? That is going to be very interesting. And aside from that, you are right. The message here is going to be critical for Republicans heading into this critical midterm election year. I will tell you, up here on Capitol Hill, many Republicans want the president to continue that focus on the economy, on affordability. They believe that is going to be the winning message in November, and Democrats are trying to challenge that.
All right. Well, from the message to the guests, walk us through the list for tonight's address. Who should we be watching out for?
Oh my goodness. And it's going to be, listen, a packed house. I will say this here. One thing that we always keep our eye on, though, of course, is Democrats and Republicans coming together. Who's sitting along the aisle? Who's trying to shake the president's hand? Right now, our team has been keeping a very close tally. As of right now, there are more than 70 Democrats who are not going to be showing up for tonight's State of the Union address. Some of them are going to be attending a counter-programming event over on the National Mall. Who will be there? We're expecting to see maybe some of the Supreme Court justices, obviously members of the president's cabinet as well. And then we go to the special guests. And so we know President Trump invited the men's hockey team to come here to the State of the Union address tonight. We are expecting some members of that team to show up. Democrats really trying to spotlight the victims of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. We are told they will be there tonight as well. And the president has a few special guests that he plans to honor in his speech tonight as he speaks to the nation, Kira.
Okay, we'll be taking it all live, and you'll be with us for the whole entire journey. Rachel Scott, appreciate you so much. All right. Well, as President Trump makes his way to the House chamber for his 2026 State of the Union address, he will walk through some of the most historic, statue-filled, and heavily secured spaces in the U.S. Capitol. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy knows that route very well. He's walked it many times and now takes our Chief Washington correspondent, John Carl, on the same journey for a behind-the-scenes look ahead as the president gets ready to walk onto the floor lined with lawmakers, aides, and media who will line that route.
Okay, so with Kevin McCarthy here now, you were a leader here for a long time. Obviously, you were Speaker of the House, but when you were a member of the Republican leadership, you escorted presidents who go right here before the speech starts.
Yes, this is the ceremonial office for the Speaker. During the year, you'll meet foreign leaders and others, but what happens in the State of the Union, they nominate an escort committee. Those are Republicans and Democrats, House, Senate. You go in there and you greet the president. You take a quick picture.
Yeah.
Then you come back into this hallway.
And you've done this with 3 presidents.
Oh yeah, this is kind of where the president will start and everybody's laying before. They're nervous. You can tell when it's their first time or they're confident. You have these conversations with them before they go down. And the interesting part too is at inaugural you kind of do something. So I was standing just like this before President Trump walking out to the inaugural. I was the last person standing there, right? And it's interesting with President Trump knowing he's done this before. Some of them walk with real confidence, and some of them are nervous. It's a very big speech, seeing where they're going to go. And all the members are kind of lining behind, but you could tell based upon party who wants to push up, who wants to push back.
And Trump has told me he thinks this is the most important speech.
It's
More
by
than any
far.
other speech. He said this is it.
This is okay. Once you turn here, it's like the show is going to begin. Because the next time you turn,
The House chamber's right over here.
we're just walking around the House chambers. Because when the next doors open, is when America really watches it. So the Sergeant of Arms, Bill McFarland, he's going to go out there.
The famous words.
Yeah. President of the United States, everybody's going to rise up. And then you walk down there, and people are just grabbing you, want to shake your hands, and everybody's excited. It is the Super Bowl, it is the prom, it is important to every single member.
What's Trump usually like at this moment when he's coming in? I mean, like I said, he thinks this is his biggest speech. So what's he like?
You know,
he's
it's funny
about to walk in.
Like with the first time he's coming down here, I thought he'd be nervous. He'll still talk to you about things, but I didn't really want to get in his head about something else.
Right.
He turned the corner right here the first time, and somebody walks up and has a Diet Coke. He takes a swig, or says,
Diet Coke
let's
before
go.
it goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Now this is going to be a little different because you have like a lot of Democrats are going to be boycotting the speech.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, because what you really want, look, I've been there. I had, as Speaker, I'm sitting as a Republican, and I've got a Democrat Vice President and a Democrat President, and everybody's looking at you. And the difference part, when you're sitting up there as Speaker, you can hear what everybody says, even though the television doesn't
People don't
pick up.
realize. I've been in the
You hear their comments. Yeah. But this is the moment when they get about right here.
Yeah.
These doors will open, and then those doors right there, they'll keep them closed just like that. The president will be standing there. The rest of the escort committee will be down the stairs, and they open that up. If you look directly from that door all the way across, the other door you'll see is the door to the Senate. And what's different is this is the House, but the Senate gets treated special. The Senate gets the first 3 rows. The House members have to sit back. Members will go in there as soon as they can to reserve the seats and sit there just so they could be on television, which to me, I think.
What we heard from the Speaker is that those empty seats of people that aren't going to go this year, they can't be filled by staff, he said.
Well, what happens is...
So are we going to see empty seats? I mean, actually,
I don't believe so, because normally what would happen when I was speaker and others, like when we would have dignitaries come speak, we also bring in
But that's not the
ambassadors.
State of the Union.
Yeah, but ambassadors still come to State of the Union. Like if you look over the side, a lot of ambassadors are there, and they come fill in. I still think when you're thinking you got all the House and all the Senate, if there's 20-some boycott, you'll never even know it.
Yeah.
They'll be missing out.
Because it's such a packed chamber
Yeah.
anyway.
And what's happening right now in the chamber, they're cooling it down.
Yeah.
They're putting these lights up because it gets warmer. They're making sure.
Does it get hot in there after? I mean, he might go 2 hours tonight.
Oh, he's going to set a record.
Oh, wow.
It was an hour and 40 minutes last time around. Now you're hearing Kevin McCarthy saying he's going to set a record. That means more than an hour and 40 minutes tonight. Joining us now, Chair of the House Democratic Caucus, California Congressman Pete Aguilar. That's a lot of time to hopefully hear what you want to hear, Congressman. You know, the president is coming in to this night with really low approval, but your party isn't doing much better. When asked who they trust to handle America's biggest problems, 33% of Americans say President Trump, only 31% say Democrats. So how does your party plan to show voters why they should trust you more than Trump?
Well, I think this is clearly about a contrast right now. Donald Trump does not have the support of the American people because everything he is doing in policy is making life difficult and making life more unaffordable. So Democrats will offer a response, and our response this evening will be done by Governor Abigail Spanberger, and she's going to do an amazing job. But we're going to continue to talk about the affordability message, where the president has nothing to run on because for the last year, all he's done is
This is what's happening right now.
Some of the memorable lines. And so tonight, I think when people
Hold on.
this, one of the things that I'm most interested in is the tariffs opinion that just came down from the Supreme Court. And these same justices are going to be sitting right in front of him. And decorum says they're not supposed to react to anything. But he really laid into him after that.
havoc and to raise people's costs on health care, on groceries, and on so many essential goods, from school supplies to holiday shopping. Americans have seen their prices skyrocket, and each American, it's about $1,700 more you're paying this year under Donald Trump's presidency. That's what this is about. That's what those approval ratings are about, and that's what the November elections will be about.
Well, you're mentioning a lot of reasons why folks shouldn't vote for Trump. Why should they vote for you?
We will prioritize an affordability agenda because we have time and time again proven that we are the party of health care. Republicans are the party of kicking people off of health care coverage. What they did was eliminate health care coverage for 13 million people to provide tax cuts to their billionaire friends. We won't do that. We don't stand for the billionaire class. We stand for health care and the people. But we also know that's not enough. We need to have policies and strategies to ensure that more people have access to housing, more people have access to American dream, more people have access to lower utility costs. We want to make life better for everyday Americans and their kids. And we want to ensure that their kids have a greater opportunity to succeed in this economy and in this world than they do. And right now, for so many families, that's not the case. Democrats will prioritize that.
Let me ask you, a lot of your House Democratic colleagues are skipping the speech tonight, possibly 50 to 100. Why aren't you?
You know, I thought it was important. I want to be here. I want to be here and listen to the president. I want to hear and call him out when he lies. I want to hear and understand if he offers an actual vision for this country, or if it's just going to be him, talking platitudes and talking about a bunch of things, taking credit for things that the Biden administration did, or just making things up on the fly. This is a guy who called the affordability agenda a hoax, a Democratic hoax, and now he's going to come into this chamber and he's going to try to take credit for lowering the costs that people have. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that is exactly what he's going to do. Look, I thought it's important to be here. Leader Jeffries has said, when a bully comes in your neighborhood, you don't leave your block. Right? We're not going to get knocked off our block by Donald Trump. We're going to be here. We're going to be present. We're going to hear him out, and we're going to be respectful. And for those members who feel that they needed to go and not be in this chamber, we respect that decision as well.
You mentioned healthcare. Your guest tonight is a doctor from your district who says her premiums and those of her patients have skyrocketed. What are you hoping to hear from the president tonight, Congressman, on making the cost of healthcare more affordable for people like Dr. Carter and those she cares for?
Yeah. Dr. Carter is an amazing pediatrician from my community, and what I hope the president talks for is the Affordable Care Act tax credits. This is something he could have led on, and the president let it expire. The House of Representatives pushed back against the president. We put a plan forward, 3-year plan for the Affordable Care Act tax credits. It's just sitting there in the Senate. John Thune hasn't brought it up. Democrats and Republicans support it. 17 Republicans alone on the House side supported this bill to send it over. We hope he talks about that. We hope he talks about bringing these back and making healthcare more affordable for the American people. This isn't about, blaming Democrats, which I'm sure he will do. This is about how we make healthcare more affordable. That's what Dr. Carter wants to hear. That's what millions of Americans want to hear.
Congressman Pete Aguilar from California. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Straight ahead, will Trump's speech help Republicans avoid a midterm blowout? Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds joins me to give us his pitch. Plus, the Democrats that are ditching the speech will show you how they're marking Trump's first year on the National Mall.
Like the video, like the video.
Here in Washington. Sagar, one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit is take some of our audience behind the scenes. We're here in Emancipation Hall. Through those doors behind us, you see the replica Statue of Freedom over there. That's what's on top of the U.S. Capitol. Beyond that are the doors that lead into the House chamber.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip.
Your workflow now.
Like the video as you guys come in.
What have we seen kind of like around the complex today? There's a lot of security, obviously, when you have all of these.
Like the video as you guys come in. Fair use reaction clip. Waiting for the commercial to go past.
In a vibrant downtown community connected to a global alumni network.
Resignation. So Watergate is a time when one of really the only times in our history where presidential power was brought back and reined in. And since that time, it's expanded slowly, and then it really took off after 9/11. So we see in times of crisis that presidents do expand their power, but they can't go too far. And right now, polls are showing that people think that President Trump went too far with immigration in the way he was carrying it out. Happy that he closed the border, unhappy that people are being killed on the streets in Minnesota. So it really is, an interesting time to see what will happen. It'll be interesting to see how Trump, talks about immigration tonight.
Presidential historian and author James Robinault with us tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to keep eyes on Capitol Hill. In just a short time, the House chamber will be filled with lawmakers, diplomats, dignitaries, and the country will be watching as President Trump stands before a joint session of the 119th Congress to deliver his first official State of the Union address of his second term. The address he gave last year was to a joint session of Congress. This will be the first official State of the Union. Two different vantage points here. Again, I'm just trying to keep an eye out for any recognizable faces. Clearly, lots and lots of media on Capitol Hill and this poll that we had. You guys overwhelmingly voted for the economy as being the number one thing that you want to hear about tonight. Of course, the economy and tariffs have been in the news as of late. President Trump talking about record-setting Dow figures. Some of the major indexes have, in fact, during Trump's tenure, seen record highs. Tariffs, that's a major point of focus. A major portion of President Trump's tariff agenda was struck down by the Supreme Court. And that is something.
Let's see what Value Entertainment has to say about the State of the Union. Hold on one second. Like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in.
Knows. Adam, just so you guys know, Adam, can you tell everybody where you were all day today?
Sir, can you hear me?
I can.
Wonderful. Well, I'm here in Washington, D.C. I was interviewing a lot of our Republican congressmen and congresswomen. Honored to be doing so right now. I'm out here in the field, PBD. I'm representing the PBD brand and the Value Entertainment brand. In a swamp, we want to drain the swamp, but we're going to make America great again.
What is the feeling you're getting? By the way, what is the feeling you're getting? Because, Rob, can you show one of the clips with him and is it John Kennedy? Who's the one that it was speaking to?
Kennedy?
Yeah, play one of the clips of Adam there today. I got a lot of thoughts on tonight. And we have 42 minutes until he gets started. Why don't you just show the clip from the beginning of Adam being there, show the official stuff, make him look good because, you know, Adam likes this kind of stuff. Go ahead, Rob. Adam is literally in D.C. today. He was at the State of the Union press talking to a bunch of congressmen and women.
Like the video, like the video.
Nice. It looks cool. First question, the number one concern on most Americans' mind is the economy, affordability. Everyone's concerned what the government can do, but what could individuals and families do better to save that money?
To paraphrase Congresswoman Omar, I love you like a brother, but please behave tonight.
Yes.
Don't act like you're having a grand mal seizure. I say the same thing to my Republican colleagues. We're all there to hear the president. We're not there to hear each other. Number two, here's what I think the president will do tonight, what I hope he does, Adam. I hope he will look at the American people in the eye and talk to them about things that moms and dads are worried about when they lie down and sleep, try to sleep at night and can't.
Sharia law and the Islamification of America.
We see what's happening in New York with Mamdani. We see what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, other places around the country. Texas is ground zero. Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth, where you've got this epic city. You've got this Islamic center in Houston.
We'll have more stuff that'll come. What I want to ask from Adam is the following. Adam, what is the feeling you're getting from talking to everybody there? What are they thinking is going to happen tonight? We read the reports. We've seen, you know, the number I have right now, 6 senators will not be attending tonight. Patty Murray, Chris Van Hollen, Ruben Gallego, Tina Smith, Ed Markey. You got Jeff Merkley, and then you have around 15 representatives won't be there tonight. Catherine Clark, who's the minority whip, Jim Himes, Yasmin Ansari, Ami Berra, Delia Ramirez, Sean Casten. We got a bunch of other names there as well. All across the country. Ro Khanna's apparently going to be bringing one of the girls from the Epstein. One of the girls from the Epstein that apparently she was the one that was bringing the girls to him. That, you know, she was getting paid to bring the other girls. Ro Khanna's going to bring that girl there. There's going to be a couple other things. I mean, I know Thomas Massey's allegedly going to be sitting with Democrats. So it's going to be a spectacle. But what are you feeling from talking to everybody? What are they saying?
Well, if you're talking about the State of the Union and State of the Economy and State of America right now, if you only polled or spoke to Republicans, you'd have in great unison that America's greater than ever. We're making America great again. So everyone is excited about what Trump is doing. You know, I asked them, hey, what do you maybe disagree with what he's doing? They were very dismissive of that. They said, listen, there's a lot of things that the Democrats can criticize him about, but Trump's playing offense. We're here advocating for him. We love what he's doing. We respect what he's doing. We voted for this. You know, Trump's on offense is what they keep saying. He's playing offense where what are the Democrats doing? They're just booing from the sidelines right there. So it's the classic Teddy Roosevelt, you know, man in the arena situation. Trump is going at warp speed playing offense where the Democrats are just booing, and they have all these different other agendas. But the one thing they don't have, it seems, is patriotism. When every single Republican is proud to be an American, proud of what President Trump is doing, and excited for the State of the Union tonight.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, I think if it's the other way around, and if the Democrats were there and you had an opportunity to capitalize, you know, Prime and Blenders, we brought you the sunglasses.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button as you come in. Thanks for being here.
Place under Obama. If you have that clip, Rob, if you want to play it. So that's not the right thing to do. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of those. What was one of the Nancy Pelosi? What did she do when she ripped the speech?
State of the Union, yeah.
And then you had some of the people that were holding up signs against Elon Musk. If you remember those handles when they had with Doge, and they were talking about some things with Elon. I don't know if you remember that
or something.
A year ago, something like that. Go ahead, Rob. Play that clip if you have it. Here's President Obama. Go for it.
There are also those who claim that our reform efforts would ensure illegal immigrants. This, too, is false. The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegal.
That's Joseph Olson.
Look at Nancy's face.
Nancy's face.
Not true.
Okay.
And one more.
By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Obama looks like he's 27 years old. He looks like he's 78 right now. He's aged a lot. But here's what I think is going to happen. We can sit here and, I can't apologize for who I voted for, where I'm at. Nothing has changed for me. I supported this man 16, 20, 24. However, you have to pay attention to numbers. We will show CNN polls when Harry Enten is showing poll numbers that are looking favorable for Trump. And sometimes you're like, well, we're not going to show that poll because that poll is not a good poll to show. Let's not show that one. Let's only show the positive polls. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday what Harry Enten showed. If you want to pull this, Rob, right before. Okay, and I got some thoughts on this, Rob. I gave you the clip. I think you have it. This is yesterday, right before State of the Union. If you haven't seen this yet, this is same Harry Enten that's been showing a lot of polls that are favorable for Trump. This is him yesterday. And out of everything he shows, the only one I care about is about independence. That's the only one I care about. Rob, just play the first minute. Go for it.
Harry Enten is running the numbers on this one for us. Harry, what's your take with what you're looking at on how people are feeling about how Trump is doing in this moment?
Yeah, okay. I would borrow the phrasing of Tony Blair, of course, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, saying weak, weak, weak. It was weak over there in the United Kingdom. It is weak here in the United States when it comes to President Trump. Okay, Trump's net approval rating. Look at all the pre-SOTUS polls, the State of the Union. Look at this. Okay, we're at this point. Look at that. Negative 27 points. My goodness gracious, the snow is up to the knees here in New York City, and Trump seems to be well underneath it at this point. Compare that to where he was in 2020, 2019, and 2018 in term one going into those State of the Unions. Minus, way lower now. Minus 15, way lower now. Minus 15. Way lower now. The bottom line is this. Donald Trump has never been weaker going into a State of the Union address, according to our CNN polling, than he is right now, and weaker by a considerable amount.
So this is his first term to his second term. How does it compare to other presidents at this point in their second term now?
Yeah, okay. It's not just that Donald Trump is breaking records compared to himself when it comes to State of the Union. He's breaking records compared to other presidents at this point going into a State of the Union. What are we talking about? Look at all the 21st century presidents on your screen right here. About at this point in the second term going into the State of the Union. Trump at minus 27 points. Obama was at minus 15 points. George W. Bush was at minus 11 points. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that minus 27 points is considerably lower than minus 15 or minus 11. So Trump isn't just weaker than he's ever been going into a State of the Union address. He is weaker than any other president this century going into a State of the Union address at this point in their second term.
We're talking about it all throughout the show as we're going through these numbers, but talk about what is driving this drop for the president.
What is driving this drop? I said record was the name of the game when it came to this segment, right? Talking about the lowest Trump has ever been going into the State of the Union, the lowest that any president has been this century going into a State of the Union at this point in their presidency. It is also the weakest that Donald Trump has ever been with independence. Look at this drop. We've been talking about it the past few months. At this point, a year ago, Donald Trump was at minus 13 points. Look at this. Minus 47 points among independents, the lowest Donald Trump has ever been in either of his two terms as president with independents. That is driving these numbers. When you're 47 points underwater with independents, that's the name of the game.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? What do you think about that when you see a number like that? You guys feel anything when you see a number like that? What do you think? What does it make you think? You'd like to see the poll. I think Harry Enten's fairly fair. You know, when you look at some of these things, to me, here's how I process it. I think Democrats are so flipping lucky right now, and they better capitalize. And here's why. What happened the last 7 days? If we were to look at what happened the last 7 days, it's what? The tariff Supreme Court goes 6-3. Everything you read about today, it's what? Lawsuits, 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 lawsuits. EU is going to come back and say, we're not going to meet the tariffs that you're saying because your Supreme Court is voting against you. What the tariffs did when they went 6-3, that threw a lot of people off. The Supreme Court went the other way. Now, we know there's still other ways that he can go about it. You know, you're going to hear FedEx today. What did FedEx today come out and say?
Officially sued to get their money back. Not just a press release, Federal Express sued the federal government looking to get all of the tariff money back that they paid.
Which is pretty nasty. And by the way, this kind of stuff happens while you're going through it. And then what else is going on right now as we're going into the State of the Union? You got the indecision, what's going on with Iran? Everyone's wondering what's going to happen here. So the independents that are in the middle, they're sitting there saying, are we going to do this? Are we not going to do this? Some of them are going to be non-interventionists. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. And I think tonight, there's going to be so many surprises unknown that they're going to try to rattle the president. But here's what I think is going to be happening. When we do this kind of stuff, the president said something the other day that we're not doing a good job talking about our successes and marketing. Let me give you some numbers for you to be thinking about when you see that right there. A year and a half ago, everybody was worried about border and criminals coming through. When's the last time you thought about what's going on with border? Bingo. Lowest since 1970. He made America safer. Murder rates from 25 to 24. Down 20%. Down 20%. We can continue with these things that we're talking about. Tax reform. People are putting more money back into their business when they're hiring people. Remember when we used to see all these men and women's sports? What did he do? No men in women's sports. Parents out there sitting there saying, man, I had a lot of sports where guys would come in and competing. No, we're not going to be talking about that stuff. Remember the whole ESG stuff that we would hear about all over the place? Remember DEI? How many of these companies that were faces of ESG and DEI, like BlackRock? Nope, we're going away from it. Goldman Sachs? Nope, we're going away from it. What even happened to Disney right now that they do our annual gay parade at Disney? They said, no, we ain't doing it this year. Why is it happening now? You know, you look at the stuff Disney had to do. Kathleen Kennedy, that every other cartoon they were doing, they were putting some kind of an LGBTQ character in there. She stepped down December 31st of last year. So a lot of this stuff that's happening, but they've not done a good job marketing this stuff. He claims he ended 8.5 wars. Whatever the number is, he stopped a lot of wars. He's still got a couple other things that's going on. What they did with Venezuela, you know, we don't want to do this. We don't want another war with Venezuela. He went in, they got it done, they left. News, oh my God, it's going to be horrible. No, it was actually gave credit to our great Delta Force and Navy SEAL what they did. But, you know, and then what they did with Iran's nuclear bombs, we don't give that enough credit. The baby Trump accounts that a lot of other companies, you saw Michael Dell coming out and saying, hey, we're going to be good for this. And many of the corporate companies, you know, joined him on that. Gas prices, drill, baby, drill. I can say a bunch of different things. I mean, he even got, you know, this may be the biggest accomplishment. Some people thought this was never possible. Some people here are probably going to get emotional when I tell you this. He was the only man in the history of America that was able to get Rosie O'Donnell to leave America. That's a massive accomplishment. I mean, you guys got to realize this kind of stuff is not easy to do. We've had Obama, Clinton, Bush. A lot of people couldn't pull it off. Even Biden couldn't pull it off. But she left. So in all seriousness, I do think if I am a campaign strategist for Democrats, you best capitalize off of today. But if you push too far, people going to see you as well when it comes down to midterms this year. But I don't think the Republicans don't have anything that they need to address as well. I do think affordability is something they got to address. I do think this Epstein stuff was a big fumble. I do think the Epstein stuff, Pam Bondi handed that to the Democrats. Here you go. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna ran with it. And it was like, oh my God, where's the other stuff? Where's the other stuff? Where's the other stuff? Instead, you could have done it in a very methodical, structured way, not in the way that they did it that turned into the fumble it was. That was a massive screw up. That created a lot of noise. So today, as much as we know all this stuff, and FYI, when you know, my friend Tom here will say, you know, I hope everybody stays classy tonight. I hope everybody does this tonight. I mean, look, here's what I know about how the world works. I used to do business videos. And these business videos used to be, here's how to hire, here's how to raise money, here's how to do this, here's how to, okay. Everybody liked me. Oh my God, your business content is great. Here's how to expand into a new market. Here's how to, you know, here's how to do this. Oh, this guy's cool. The moment I gave my opinion on political issues, I officially had enemies. So should I sit there and say, feel sorry for me? No, I knew it was coming. What happens when you give your opinion? You have a different opinion. Somebody's going to come and push back. Oh my God, he's this, he's that, that's how the market works. If I go out there and say some stuff about Islam and what some of the folks that do the Islamists, and I say some markets are not safe, or somebody may come back and criticize and say, you know what, you're all about Israel. That's what you are. You're taking us $7,000. It's a very natural reaction. I'm not surprised by it. So meaning, if they pull off a publicity stunt today at the State of the Union, don't be surprised. You know why not? The president brought three of Bill Clinton's victims at a debate with his wife standing right next to him that he's debating. Do you understand what I'm saying? So President Trump is very comfortable wrestling with everybody, but he's a big boy. He's going to come in. I have a feeling he's going to do what he does best. He's going to put it in their faces. They're going to hate it. They're going to lose their shit. He's going to stay calm. He's going to deliver his message. God willing, he does that. We don't know what's going to happen. Temperatures are pretty high right now, but I do think they're going to capitalize off this, the polls, the numbers, the issues with Epstein. I think Democrats are salivating right now. By the way, the Supreme Court ruling could have been done next week. Big difference. Imagine he does the State of the Union tonight and they announce Supreme Court next Tuesday. Imagine if those were the dates. Very big difference in storyline, right? So just...
Let's continue with the news. Fair use reaction clip. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Face during this speech with some of those justices who Chief Roberts wrote in his opinion that those tariffs, the president's signature policy, are attacks on businesses and families, something that the president has disputed. We know that the White House is doubling down on tariffs despite that decision from the Supreme Court. So as you say, as of today, there is now a new 10% tariff on most imports coming into the U.S. In effect, the president wanted that to go up to 15%. The White House tells us that's still in the works. But just at the same time that the Supreme Court basically struck down those tariffs, the White House is doubling down. The president likely to highlight the money that they have brought in for the federal government. They say that this is creating jobs, though of course it is worth noting that the U.S. did lose manufacturing jobs last year, about 80,000 manufacturing jobs lost. So the question is, how much more does he issue additional tariff threats, Kira? We know he's using other legal authorities now to try to impose these new tariffs. Some of that, though, even in question, and not the same kind of security and broad-based threat as before.
All right, so Elizabeth, we're going to take, these are our first live pictures now, Elizabeth, that we're getting from the chamber. The lights have come up. Speaker Mike Johnson has made the call, called the House to order upon the arrival of the Senate. You can see now Vice President J.D. Vance is entering the chamber. Not long after that, we are going to see the Joint Chiefs as well, in addition to Second Lady Usha Vance, that should be not far behind the Vice President there. So, Elizabeth, you know, President Trump campaigned on lower prices, but that's, you know, not what Americans are experiencing right now.
It's not, and a lot of what we will hear from the president is to highlight the areas, I expect, Kira, that we do see prices down. So gas prices are lower. We do see the stock market at record highs, something the president regularly talks about. But when you look at some of those other day-to-day costs where people are really feeling those costs, childcare, groceries, housing, utility bills, those are up. And it's notable, Kira, as we're looking at these pictures of Vice President J.D. Vance, you see Majority Leader John Thune coming in. These new tariffs that have been imposed, it's estimated by the Yale Budget Lab, Kira, it'll still cost American households more than $1,000 per year. These tariffs also expire, Kira, after 150 days. At that point, they would need to be approved by Congress. And that is something that a lot of those members of Congress you're looking at there have expressed skepticism about, this idea that they would support additional tariffs. They have basically said it's up to the president to do that. So we'll have to see, Kira, how much he calls on members of Congress in this speech to support that part of his economic agenda now.
The members walking onto the House floor there. Elizabeth, stay with us. We want to bring in one of our nation's foremost experts on the American presidency. He has interviewed presidents, chronicled their stories. Our contributor and presidential historian, Mark Updegrove, joining me now for a deeper understanding of just how these defining moments and speeches can shape the next 3 years. You know, Mark, dozens of Democrats are poised to skip the address tonight, opting for this counter program on the National Mall where we found our Jay O'Brien. You know, what does that tell us just about the state of politics in this country right now?
I think it reflects the political dysfunction that has become a regular part of 21st century life at this point. It's not surprising that they have skipped this. It's disappointing because our government functions best when we have bipartisanship, when we have comity and consensus among the two parties in Congress. And certainly we're not seeing this in the current political environment. I think there's little chance of this, but there's a possibility that President Trump could sound a message of unity tonight. That's what State of the Unions often offer a president the chance to do. And we'll see what kind of message he sounds tonight. But again, I think this is very much reflective of where we are, not only politically, but as a society today with the polarization that is prevalent throughout America, Kira.
And we're seeing the vice president greet, military leaders there, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, as we continue to talk about a looming war with Iran, wondering if indeed we will hear anything from the president about that tonight. Mark, if you think about the State of the Union and addresses that have unified our country. We can think about George W. Bush after 9/11. You and I remember that well. Ronald Reagan after the Challenger explosion. Those challenging moments gave our presidents a chance to boost our solidarity, to unite us. Is there no such thing as a unifying event in Washington anymore? Because there are times where it sure feels like we are so divided that thinking about unification is a pipe dream.
You're so right, Kira. You think about those great speeches given by our presidents during times of crisis. Franklin Roosevelt comes to mind after the attack on Pearl Harbor, which drew us into World War II, and his day of infamy speech. You talked about George W. Bush in the wake of 9/11. Those were existential crises that we were facing. We don't have one, thankfully, at this moment, but that doesn't mean that a president can't use the bully pulpit to somehow sound a message of unity. We haven't seen that from President Trump. Temperamentally, it doesn't seem consistent with who he is as a person and what he does as a leader. But these states of the union offer the presidency, or the president rather, an opportunity to do just that. I think without question, Kira, and we heard this earlier, he has to sound a message about the economy. We're seeing his approval rating slip to 39%. Americans elected Donald Trump to the presidency because they believed he was the better candidate to get our economy moving again. We have not seen that. President Trump has told us how good it is, but I think he has to show the American people that he understands what they're feeling and the affordability crisis that is playing out. He has to understand that he knows what Americans are going through, Kira.
Well, Mark, I'm just getting excerpts from his State of the Union speech, so stay with me because we do know that the theme, we were told earlier from sources there at the White House, the theme would be America 250, strong, prosperous, and respected, of course, in reference to the 250th anniversary of the founding of our country, Mark. And now I'm just briefly looking at some of what the president is going to say tonight. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For the now, it's our turn. Together, we are building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go farther, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. This sounds great, but we're going to want to hear from the president how exactly he is making hardworking American citizens first and his ultimate concern. When we've been talking for weeks now, our Elizabeth Schulze just laid this out, and I don't know, Elizabeth, are you still with me? Okay, we'll bring Elizabeth back, but Mark, that's what we had a feeling that this is probably how his speech would start out, because affordability, if you look at the polling and you talk to the people, that is what is on the minds of Americans right now. How their 401k is doing, how they're, are they able to save money? Can they pay the rent? Can they fill up the gas tank? Can they buy groceries? So it's interesting just looking at the first two graphs of his speech that he's diving right into that.
You're so right, and again, it's affordability that's on the minds of Americans. It's the economy, stupid, right? Something that James Carville said back in 1992 that helped to win Bill Clinton the presidency over the incumbent George Herbert Walker Bush. So, but it's one thing, and pardon the cliche, Kira, but it's one thing to talk the talk. You've got to walk the walk. He has to talk about solutions for Americans, things that he is doing to ensure that there is, and I think you were alluding to that in this paragraph, the accessibility of the American dream. For so many Americans, they don't see that. And you talked about the rampant inflation that we are facing, right? The inaffordability of healthcare, the inaffordability of housing. So he has to address this with concrete solutions, I think, in order to move the needle on the approval rating that is right now relatively anemic, Kira.
Just a little bit of color. I don't know if you saw the shot. It happened sort of quickly, but the U.S. Capitol Historical Society had told us that Speaker Johnson would display George Washington's gavel during the State of the Union address, and we did just see a shot of that, clearly a nod to America's 250th anniversary. So they are playing up this theme of a strong America 250 years later. Also, it looks like the president is going to start talking about threats to the United States.
Good evening. Good evening.
Issues I'm seeing here as president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. We are also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I thought I'd go live. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're new, press 1. If you've been here before, press 2. If you're new, press 1. If you've been here before, press 2. I just wanted to get a head start of what they were going to be talking about for the State of the Union and what people are expecting.
By murderous drug cartels.
Hello.
Why don't we bring in our political director, Avery Harper. Avery, we were going to talk about just the impact of Trump's speech tonight as a war with Iran does loom. I don't see anything specifically addressing Iran so far in these excerpts we've received from the speech, but definitely that the president saying he wants to make peace wherever he can, and he is addressing those threats, which we clearly have seen him address, whether it's capturing Nicolas Maduro, going after alleged drug boats, or I guess supporting Mexico's president as she had her military take down one of the most notorious leaders of a drug cartel in Mexico, El Mencho. Your thoughts as the president is not far into the speech, bringing up what he is describing as restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere.
Right. I definitely think that this is reflective of the fact that the president knows that there are going to be people all over the world watching this for indications of what could come next when it comes to some of those foreign policy decisions that he's going to make. And that's also something that I think we're going to hear in the Democratic response later on tonight from Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, who has a national security lens as someone who is a former CIA officer. Who's going to be speaking about
I'm going to go back to PBD podcast. They kind of give a different perspective. He's supposed to go live in probably the next 12 to 15 minutes. So let's go back to PBD to see what they're talking about and what the country's main concerns.
There are two certainties in life.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
Time besides actually Hitler, has there ever been a time where people are openly going, oh no, that guy is Hitler? All right, I've seen Jewish people say that guy's Hitler. Do you understand where that happens, that brain TDS disease, for you to call somebody that killed millions and gassed and burned alive and murdered that many Jews, for you to call that guy Hitler. That's why that thing spreads and people don't even know. They've never even seen him speak at the State of the Union, and they're like, yeah, he was horrible. I give him a 1. That's what I'm trying to get at, Tom. All the independents, all these people, all these CNN polls, who are you polling? Who are you talking to? Trump haters? Of course they're going to say he's not doing well because they've been told. They've been told that he's not doing well since day one. Since day one, it's been an uphill battle. It's been an uphill battle. I'm not complaining at all.
Adam, are you out there with us?
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking?
So, number one, shout out to the men's hockey team. They visited Miami last night. The number one club in Miami is 11. They were there celebrating, popping bottles. I don't know if you saw any of the videos, draping the American flag, singing the national anthem. It was incredible. I got my man on the street there. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there at 11. I would have loved to join them there celebrating, but incredible what they did. Of course, the women, they're too busy to show up. What else do you got going on, ladies? The Olympics is done. You got to pretend that you're playing in meaningless games. So respect to the men.
First off, Adam, the files came out. The women don't want to be around that and associated with that. That's why, Adam. The women don't want to be associated, and they have a right to deny an invitation.
Team, I think they're going to be here tonight. But you guys were talking about Trump, right, PVD? So you know the book. You talked about this nice guys finish last. Say what you want about Trump. He's not a nice guy. Sometimes you need an a-hole to get in there and bust things up. And, politics is messy. I was interviewing all these very skilled politicians. They're bobbing and weaving my tough questions today. But politics is ugly. But, they say...
Stand for, what is the saying? Stand for something or you'll fall for anything. The men act like it's not happening. The women are saying, no, thank you. We're not falling for that. We're standing for justice. We're standing with the victims. Something needs to happen. Why are men acting like what happened to those victims? It's not okay. Because they wouldn't want that to happen to their mother, their sister, their aunt, their daughters. The silence is concerning. The silence is concerning. Great job, women, for not taking the invitation.
Be careful when you wrestle with a pig. You're both going to get dirty, but the pig loves it. So... You said one thing about the poll numbers, which you're right. Trump genuinely is concerned about his poll numbers. Not so much about the Dems, but the independents. You talked about the independents. I think he had the biggest drop in independents in a long time. But if I'm going to quote John Kennedy, he's like, if you trust the polls, you might as well trust Justice Smollett. So who knows what's going on?
And that's the other thing. Value entertainment is whatever. The conversations, whatever. But the women haven't forgotten what he said about grabbing. And maybe the women have saw some of the videos in regards to Trump and Epstein. And guess what? They're disgusted. Did y'all see the video of Epstein in the kitchen running after the young girls? So disgusting. Did y'all see Prince Andrew? I never posted it. Did y'all see Prince Andrew in the pictures over the weekend? So concerning. Why are they acting like this is not happening? So concerning. Let's continue. Fair use action clip.
Going on, but Trump is going to get up there, play offense tonight, show patriotism. And one last thing, one of the greatest gifts that Trump, unfortunately, unforced error, that he gave to the Democrats were these two people that were killed by ICE. The Democrats don't want to talk about that.
Go look it up. It's Prince Andrew sitting next to a young child. It's Prince Andrew on all fours playing ball with a child. So concerning. Some people posted it. I couldn't. A lot of times I'll zip through gross stuff. I just can't post it. I can't show it because you can't even imagine what those people or the young people went through. I see video on Instagram all the time with them dancing, him and Epstein talking. They're looking at girls. They're dancing with girls. Yes, go look it up. It's on Instagram. Prince Andrew playing with a young child. So concerning. Whose child was that?
10, 20 million people that were potentially let into the country. But God forbid, two paid agitators show up and get in the way of ICE and they get killed. They want to harp on that. So that was a gift to the Dems, and I think the independents saw that. But I interviewed an ICE officer today in Dallas. He's actually, he was a guest of your friend, I believe, Tom, Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne, and she gave you a shout out. She says, I think she's meeting with you soon. She was with an ICE. Remember when someone shot at an ICE facility in Dallas. Do you remember that? About a month ago or two? And he goes, yeah, I was there. I got shot at. But they also interviewed, there was a big press conference with the Fallen Angels family, the people that are responsible for doing the Laken Riley Act. So they don't want to talk about the illegals that are coming in the country, killing people. They want to focus on these two paid agitators who are getting in the way of ICE. But Trump's got an agenda. He's going to stick to it. Poll numbers be damned. He's going to do what he's got to do to make America great.
But Adam, I disagree with the phrasing of he gave them a gift. He didn't get them a gift. It was a setup because they were told again that ICE is Gestapo. You have Tim Walz saying go get in their faces and go fight, and then that happens. I don't think it was a gift. I think it was set up, and the Democrats got exactly what they want. They baited it, and they got exactly what they want, and now they have the talking points. So that's why
I'm in DC. I'm looking presidential. I'm not going to fight with you today. You know how much I love that.
I know that's right.
It's great to see you.
Are you wearing pants? Because we can't tell. Okay, good.
That's why he's sitting down. So, by the way, Rob, can you show the clip of Ro Khanna? This is who Ro Khanna is going to be having tonight at the State of the Union. And then Scott Jennings had a quick response to who Ro Khanna was going to have tonight at the State of the Union. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm Congressman Ro Khanna. I'm so honored to have Haley Robson as my State of the Union guest tonight. Haley,
the time to become a pilot is now. The rapidly growing aviation
Like the video, like the video. I got to get used to the ad coming up underneath the screen. Like the video, fair use reaction clip.
Epstein, it was horrific. And I'm so offended today. People are attacking her.
He's supposed to go live in about 7 to 8 minutes.
Even though she went through some of the most horrific things imaginable for any human being. You know what I think? Instead of attacking survivors, how about we start holding the perpetrators accountable? How about we start holding the Epstein class accountable? It is only because of the courage of people like Haley that Thomas Massie and I were able to release the Epstein files. They stood in front of the Capitol. They shared and relived their trauma. They showed so much courage. They moved the nation. And my commitment is we will not quit. We will not rest until we get justice for the survivors. Haley, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It means the world to be able to walk into a room where I know that I am respected and outspoken, and I have the backing of Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. The support means everything to survivors everywhere, and we will bring the fight to DC.
Amen.
Thank you for having me, Ro Khanna.
Thank you. You are inspiring the country with your courage.
Thank you.
By the way, if I know the story correctly, she was in the documentary, the 4-part documentary, and she was the one that was bringing other girls and making $200 per girl she brought. And if I'm not mistaken, she's the one in the documentary that says, why am I getting arrested? What did I do wrong? And they're like, wait a minute. You're bringing these young high school girls over to Epstein. And if you haven't seen a 4-part documentary, you have to watch it if you've never seen it. If you can play the clip of Scott Jennings responding to Ro Khanna, here's what Scott Jennings had to say. Go ahead, Rob.
You heard the name there, Haley Robson. Now, Ro Khanna says she is speaking for the survivors, but is she? The files show something completely different, that Haley Robson was, in fact, someone who worked with Jeffrey Epstein to recruit young women to the island. According to CNN's reporting, and I'm just going to read it to you, quote, Robson told police she remembered bringing 6 girls to Epstein and told authorities she was like a Heidi Fleiss, the Hollywood madam who ran a high-class prostitution ring. Robson provided police with the names of some of the girls she had brought to Epstein's house. She gave the officers the cell phone numbers for 4 of them and told police she wanted to assist the investigation in hopes of receiving lesser charges for herself. Here's more from CBS News. Haley Robson received $200 payments each time she escorted a new masseuse to Epstein's home, according to the police reports. Robson targeted girls from the rural area outside Palm Beach, where she grew up, because Epstein believed they were less likely to complain to authorities. Here again, Robson likened herself to the so-called Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss in an interview with Palm Beach police. And Epstein, she said, once admonished her for bringing a 23-year-old recruit to his home because she was told, the younger, the better. So of all the possible people that Congressman Ro Khanna could bring to the speech tonight to highlight the Epstein issue,
he's got a point.
So concerning.
He has a point. Okay, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. These girls were 15, 16. Virginia Giuffre, God rest her soul. Like, think about it. If you groom these girls and tell them they have to do it, I mean, they're at that age, 16 years old, they're making money. I know I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think shame on Ro Khanna for using them as a political tool, because that's what it is, Pat.
This Epstein stuff has been going on forever.
Ever.
Now again, because it makes Trump look bad, they're bringing this up. You know, if he was if he's the real deal, you work in Congress, you work for the United States government. Why don't you promise these girls, all these survivors, promise them protection and name the names? All right, you're going to be protected. You're not going to suicide yourself. We're going to protect you. Bring down the house. Tom, you know the saying I always say, let justice be done till the heavens fall. Bring them down. As you guys see, in the United States, all we're seeing right now is this CEO stepping down. This guy's retiring. This guy, no arrest. Nobody's going to jail. But in the UK, they're actually putting these people, they're arresting them. They're putting him in prison. The Norwegian guy,
Facts.
one of them just committed suicide. He's
Dot.
all over the Epstein list. And then the Norway son or the prince, I don't want to misstate, Rob. I think it's a younger blonde-haired kid. He just went to prison for raping 4 girls.
Dot.
I forgot his name. So there's things happening, but if Ro Khanna and I get it, Thomas Massey, they're all for America, they're all for all these people. Grant them protection that you have the power to give, all right? And then name the names, or else this thing's gonna keep dragging on forever. And they have the power to do it.
But their witness statement is saying what it is. And you got to remember, some of these men allegedly were wearing masks. Did you see the video with their mask on the wall? Did you see the video when the girls had white blindfolds on? So concerning. So concerning. They should be able to use their victim statement. They should have protection to say who it is, who they think it is. But it has to be a picture alongside. This girl was with this person and this time. Yes, that's who that is. You know what I'm saying? Like the video, fair use. Don't forget to hit subscribe. They should not have to be re-victimized of what they went through. All these people should have went to jail when Epstein went to jail, when Maxwell went to jail. All of them should have went to jail then. It's such a huge cover-up and it's so concerning. And politicians of what they've done, so concerning. The industry, so concerning. Different churches, what's going on, so concerning. The Catholic Church, so concerning. There's so much stuff going on. Keep your hands to yourself. Get a spouse, get a wife, get a husband. Why do you have to touch people that are not yours and traumatize them? Sickos. Sickos. Cat Williams said it best. People are going to be exposed. Sickos. And if you don't have a family member that's ever had this situation, you're blessed. If you don't have a family member that had to escape this situation, you're blessed. I'm not going to cry. Victims need justice. That's why people wonder why I cover it. Why I cover it. These people need to go to jail. Prince Andrew shouldn't be the only one. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
What I find is worried about this. I wonder if Ro Khanna knew her background, or if one of his.
Let's continue.
Forward, and then finally, you mentioned it, Kellyanne. This is America's 250th birthday. And how fortunate it is for the president to be president during the 250-year birthday. So you'll hear a lot of themes of patriotism, of American exceptionalism, and he'll have some personal stories. We can talk about heroism, and you'll see the hockey guys out there, and everybody will be clapping for the hockey guys. The hockey guys might not even know what's going on because they're just a wee bit hungover. But if we can just keep this momentum going, I know you're not going to change things right away, still kind of hungover from Bidenomics, but if he could just make sure the country understands where we were and where we're going, it would be in a pretty good place to restore the American dream.
He actually made me think about that moment of the surprises where people aren't going to be standing up, like to see how despicable they are. Remember the DJ, what was his name? DJ Daniel, the 13-year-old black kid that was a cancer survivor. They made him an honorary Secret Service agent. And guess what?
People were sitting down.
Everybody, I'm crying. Everybody's crying. Every Democrat just sat there, didn't clap, and didn't give. That just shows you the disdain and the hate. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do. Well, he could save puppies from like a burning building. People would be like,
oh, there he is. There's a kid.
Yeah, look. Oh. All the Democrats were sitting down. You remember that moment, Pat?
Of course.
All sitting. All still sitting down.
Yeah, but listen, can I share some good news with you guys? Some people, we need some good news. Rob, go ahead and play this clip. We want some good news for everybody here. Go for it, Rob.
Will you run again? I haven't decided.
You're still thinking about it.
I might.
Do it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I closed the book and I'm like, oh, she wants to. She's just thinking about it. If that was my impression.
Would y'all
I don't
vote
know
for?
if that's what you intended, but that was my impression.
Would y'all vote for
No,
Kamala?
It's about a specific period in time. There was no agenda beyond what we've discussed already, which is just sharing with people. The reality of.
Okay, we can stop. I can't.
We did it again, Joe.
We can pause it right there.
Would y'all vote for Kamala?
Can you guys imagine her running again for 2028? Yeah, well, I think it's the other way. To me, it's like, please, yes. Like, trust me, you would like to see that happen. Did you guys see what Newsom said the other day about Kamala Harris?
What'd he say?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Did you have that?
Hold on.
Where he said, I don't think anybody's gonna understand what he was saying, except for him and Kamala. I don't think anybody, and probably some of the people in the state of California, probably know this. And by the way, we won't even explain to you what this means. If you don't get it, we're going to kind of skip to the next story, but maybe play this clip here, Rob. Just for splits. It's a short clip. Go ahead, Thomas.
Being in business, you learn so many things. And one of the things that I've learned
Hold
more
on.
than anything else.
Let the commercial go past. I want to hear what they got to say. Like the videos, y'all come in. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Press 1 if you're new and where you're watching from. Press 1 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 2 if you've been here
You
before.
wouldn't know Kamala Harris without Willie Brown.
You wouldn't know Kamala Harris if you didn't know Willie Brown. What that mean? So who would you vote for? Gavin Newsom, or would you vote for Kamala?
Look at the way Kamala and I both got elected the same.
No, play one more time. You didn't see this video. Play one more time. Whoosh.
And for those that don't know Willie Brown,
Look at the pause.
you wouldn't know Kamala Harris without Willie Brown.
See how emotional he gets?
See, I'm not talking. I was able to be quiet.
Willie Brown was at home going, you're damn right. But let me tell you, you know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. Do you know what that message is right there? What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Message is, if you walk across the line, I'm going to drop the dime.
Exactly what that is.
Mess around.
That's exactly what that is. It's like, you wouldn't know Kamala Harris without Willie Brown. And he knows Kamala's going to see that video and she's going to be like, oh, I know what he's going to do. And he's going to bring, and then so it's going to get, anyways, the good news is she's thinking about running. Kamala, if you're watching, I hope you do. There is a person I would like to see run even more than Kamala Harris. But listen, I have big dreams. I have very, very big dreams.
Who's that?
If in 2028, if Katie Porter runs, I will be the happiest person alive. Katie Porter's our favorite.
It's going to be Harris 28, 2 drink minimum.
Yeah. So, Rob,
by
is
what
this
has
the
been.
part where he hasn't walked in yet, Rob? Where are we at as of right now?
Base is big. Correct.
Has he started shaking hands or not yet?
No, I don't believe he's entered the chambers yet.
So this is like...
Oh, they're about to announce him. The Sergeant in Arms, ladies and gentlemen. Can we hear it?
Like the video. Like the video.
By the way, if anybody here wants to go get a drink, you may want to do it now because once it goes, you may want to stay focused and locked in. So you got a couple minutes to get yourself a drink.
9 minutes.
Like the video. Like the video.
Everybody, everybody drink.
Mr. Speaker, President of the United States.
All right, so he's in the house. Let's look at his face. See how he looks.
John Thune, Biola University, right behind him there.
See his face. What's he looking like? I just want to see face. Show me face.
I see right
guy. But you know what it is. You can mute it, Rob. To me, you don't pause it. Just mute it, Rob. Let it keep going. Yeah, there you go. To me, if you can press the button so it's live, Rob, like go straight to. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So if you think about guys, if we can keep it down, guys, because. Fellas, Roberto, talk in the back, not here, buddy. My God, Roberto, this is why he's successful in life. He makes sales. No matter where he goes, he's prospecting, meeting people. No, but to me, you know what I love about this guy? In my opinion, I think he's looking for this. I think he can't wait for it. Because what is the story? In the area of 50 of the most impossible, most difficult things he's overcame in his life, where do you think this ranks?
Oh, in his life?
In his life.
This has to be number
49.
No way.
Oh, no, wait, no, oh, no, you mean this event?
No, no,
The
no.
president
It's overcame in his life. Where does this rank? In his life, where does this
You
rank?
said top 50. I said 49.
That's the point. I don't think it's I don't think it's coming back, mugshot.
No.
Mar-a-Lago's worth $18 million, trying to deplete all his cash. E. Jean Carroll, you got Karen McDougal, all this stuff. This ranks nowhere. He is looking forward to delivering the message, and I have a feeling in his own unique way he's going to give the middle finger. Adam, I'm coming to you, Adam, up there. What are you thinking? What predictions can you give about how he's going to be doing tonight? Is there any surprises you think he's going to give? Did anybody in there, when you're talking to them, whisper to you, he may announce this tonight, he may announce X to you tonight? Did anybody say anything to you?
It's funny that you asked that because everybody has opinions on Trump and they're going to obviously side with him. And I said, what do you think is going to happen tonight? Nobody knows. That's the beautiful thing about what's going on here tonight is Trump announces everything. He's not the type of guy that you want to keep a secret from or with. But I asked her, what are your predictions for tonight? Nobody has an idea. Do you think that Trump has something up his sleeve, an ace card? Of course. Is he going to bring out women? Is he going to give out money? Who knows what's going to happen here? It remains to be seen. But I just want to circle back on one thing. You guys were talking about Epstein.
Repeating himself for the last 6 weeks, trying to avoid comments about the Epstein files. It's going to be a repeat. Let's continue fair use like you always do.
You know who Jamie Raskin is?
Yes.
Remember that guy?
Of course, yes.
Okay. The amount of political theater that I'm seeing here, in the rotunda where everyone's hanging out, all the legacy media is there. Jamie Raskin is there with his stand with the victims, release the files slogan on his shirt. And one of the news reporter goes, Congressman Raskin, you've had 5 years to address this. Why now? He's like, check my record. But it's complete political theater. And I've seen it for myself. The fakeness, the inauthenticity that's going on here. Maybe Vinny and I will come here and do a skit next time, but it's absolutely ridiculous. They've got nothing to run on. So it's kind of like Trump bad, Epstein worse, we love illegals. That seems to be the similar theme here, what's going on in the Democratic Party, unfortunately.
And it's funny when you're saying this, everything about illegals. Rob, can you play that clip today from AOC? She's already up there, or he's about to wake his way up? Yeah, go to the AOC clip, Rob. I think we have about 2 minutes left when you're doing that. Here's AOC and Mamdani. Rob, because they're going to speak in Spanish, let me read the tweet first right above it, and then we'll go right to it. Zoom in a little bit. This is from Mario Nafal. Mamdani and AOC released a Spanish language ad telling illegal immigrants to sign up for free childcare in New York City. Working American parents can't afford childcare for their own kids, but sure, let's subsidize it for non-citizens first. Go ahead, Rob.
Hola.
Mi español no es el
No te preocupes, alcalde. Si su hijo o hija está cumpliendo 3 o 4 años en el 2026, usted puede registrarlos gratis en el programa Kinder 3 o Pre-Kinder de la ciudad de
You don't feel the genuineness?
Fake
Pero
smile. Look
debe registrarse el
sincerity.
27
Look at it when he
de
stops to
febrero,
smile. Look
que
at
es
his
la
face when he
fecha
stops it.
límite.
Look, boom,
Cualquier
serious.
padre de la familia de la
Because
ciudad
it's
de Nueva
tiresome.
York, sin
here, I can
importar su
translate.
ocupación, ingreso
To make a martini,
o
shake
estatus
slowly.
migratorio, es elegible
Add the
para
vermouth
registrar
with
a
caution.
sus hijos.
Hola. And just really, really fast, I know you're about to go. Do you understand what that's saying?
Actually,
hey,
part of that was helpful.
if you don't belong in the country, come to New York and your kids will have free childcare from the government taxpayer. Are you and Americans are cool. Well, not us, the New Yorkers.
All right, let's hear it, Rob. It looks like the president's made it to the...
Let's go.
That was not a 30-minute walk. That was more like 7 minutes.
That was quick.
On average, it's 30 minutes, but he did it 7 minutes.
He wants to grab the mic.
Let's get right into it. Dinner plans afterwards.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Here we go, folks. Let's grab seats.
An honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second
Yes, we're live. Thanks for being here. Hit the subscribe button.
Lady of the United States. Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
The Supreme Court there or no? I don't see them. Oh, they are. Yes, yes. Not all of them. Look at the row right there to his front right.
Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today our border is secure. Thank you. Today our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
You've been watching the news?
After 4 years, in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
Like the video, like the video. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're new, press 1. If you've been here before, press 2. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
Bingo. 0.
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born. Substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Rob, which account are you on that's showing this? Is this the White House or C-SPAN?
The White House.
Okay, then that's why
Gasoline,
they're
which
adding the
reached a
stats
peak
to the
of
right.
over $6 a gallon in some states.
Interesting.
Under my predecessor, it was quite honestly
Good
a
for them.
disaster. It is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest. We are. I mean, he's not lying. The hottest. As thousands of new businesses are forming in factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil. Our new friends. American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
It's going through greatest hits.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
So many steps in that.
We ended DEI in America.
got a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
Look at them staring down the Democrats.
How many off of food stamps? 1 million?
How much?
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
Yes. Yeah, Amy Coney Barrett's there.
No, I see the judge.
Yeah, they're there. I hope he says something about the terrorists.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, no, no. You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Let's go, baby!
Dog, they're walking out.
Let's go!
Okay. They're walking out.
You love sports, man. You love sports.
Yeah.
Get that, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, bro. He loves sports.
By the way, that's the mainstream media with their laptops not clapping.
Yeah.
That's media.
That's so awesome.
If you're up there and they're clapping, would you be tempted, like, to hip check one of the reporters?
No, we were down there. I think I stole gum out of Hakeem Jeffries' desk.
It was under it.
Go ahead. Thank you. That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. They beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
Good.
They're going to come.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
They were busy.
At this pace, he's going to beat Bill Clinton's record.
Yeah.
7 minutes, he's just celebrating hockey. You know this is going to break the record.
We're the curling. Did we win curling?
They were in the Oval
We
Office
lost?
before. And I just want to say
The Canadian that gave it the finger.
Congratulations to Team USA. I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there. They weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
Like the video, like the video.
It's a tender right there at the beard.
Okay, there's fewer people in here. I think I'm gonna end the live. You could probably live stream it on YouTube. Thanks for being here, everyone. I still have to do my shorts for tonight. I got to do hot topics, trending topics. So check out my shorts in the next hour. Thanks for being here. Have a great evening, everyone. Goodbye.